Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Pax Dei, Search for Steel. Emphr is trying to get more and more advanced as we head for the home stretch of the devs, going from early access to a final release. Sorry about last night. I was at the end of the stream, and for some reason, my computer decided to lock up. I'm assuming that there's a conflict with my streaming program. I'm hoping it doesn't happen tonight, but who knows? It could very well do it. So, what we are going to do is figure out what's going on. Well, in any case, I will disrupt my computer again, so hopefully we will keep the stream alive. And as I always put in the stream chat, little world, if you're live with me, go ahead and let's converse for sure. As a matter of fact, what I'll do is this is going to be interesting. I'm going to go from full screen to windowed, and this should help my transition between screens for management of the programs and stuff. Let's see what happens. Like I said, it's going to be interesting to say the least this time. Looks like I'm getting a little bit of dropped frame rates, but that's okay because I'm trying to put out 45,000 or something stupid number, 47, 48, somewhere there. Let's see. There we go. So I did some hunting yesterday in my armor. Well, hunting. Monster. Did some monster hunting. Hunting I don't need. Don't need this. Am I not wearing it? Interesting. Let me see what I'm wearing here. No, drop location. There we go. Let's see. Oops. I want to get to equipment. No, it just must not have taken any damage. Okay. This is my armor setup. If for you, those of you who are new, this might change in the actual release, but in early access, you have to have the skill to actually create this level of armor, and it's not the best level of armor as of yet, because the skills only go up to the 41. So as you can see, I'm still lacking in major areas, blacksmithing being one of them, armor smithing being another, and weaponsmithing. Fletching is hard because you don't give you many options to fletch other than to create stuff you don't need. And so it's kind of, oh, I know what I wanted to do. I got this arming sword, and the arming sword is not that great. Because it's on its last leg. Although it's not on its last, it's not completely finished. So let's, I might change into my home here. What I'm looking for is, there's my simple arming sword, which I can pretty much make at will. What I really want is this. And that looks, and that one as well, because that's my main weapon. I really want that one. But as you can see, as we go down here on the list, there's 4 levels for those of you who are new, and this is the hardest level. So this is very hard. That is hard. Moderate. Easy. Very easy. And then trivial. And of course, master is the last one. But, yeah. I've got to figure out how I'm going to do this, because the shield's worthless to me. unless I have a one-handed device. That one's 14, 15. So that's about the equal. This is equal to the sword. The arming sword, I think. Let's see. Simple armor. All right, so this is 14, 15. That's 14, 19. Different types of damage types, but you get to use your shield here. That's a two-handed weapon. That's a one-handed, so you can use a shield here too. But that's 16, 15. Yeah, 16, 15 again. Actually, it's still dropping X. Okay. Bastard swords are one-handed. I didn't know that. I still can't do anything with it. I have another. There's an iron broadsword that's 612 now. So as you can see, you have yeah. Let's get changed and let's see if we can bring that up a little bit because I really need to make these before the changes come into effect. They're gonna move around resources and stuff. Yeah, it'll be fun for sure. It's early access, so like I said before, I'm not at all upset or anything with it because it's early access and I expected these. Oh, by the way, if I do crash out tonight, I'll be back tomorrow night. So just FYI, as we're doing all this stuff, I don't mean to crash out. I don't know what's been going on, honestly. So there we go. And I need my leather pants. I need. Oh, I already had my leather pants. Oh, that was chainmail pants. This is chainmail. Oh, I put on my wrong leather stuff. Okay. And it's. Let's get this. Okay. Now I need to get my equipment and take off what I don't need. These. Don't need that one. Don't need those. Okay. And my cape. The cape's over here. I always forget. Alright, then I can put these back. Here, the other armor. Here. Service. Okay. And it looks like I got some stuff from animals, mostly. So let's go put that away. Yeah, so really these sessions for these podcasts be mostly just to talk about stuff that doesn't have anything to do with the game because, like I said, the game's changing until they put out that release. What I'm doing here is just background noise. So if you're in the chat, let me know what you want to talk about. The comments I will always look at, and I can answer 100% of them right now. So don't be if you're interested in hearing my opinion outside the game. That would be it'd be my honor to do something like that with you. So that in mind is where I'm moving through the game. However, let's move through life. So, just everybody, I don't know how many people, exciting today. SpaceX successfully launched the Starship and then brought the booster down to capture it on the tower. I can't understate what a tremendous engineering and space industry achievement this was. I can't stress it enough. I don't think we can understate what happened today. It is absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And I just it's yeah. Yeah, it it happened in my lifetime, so I'm very happy. Think of this if you want in a purely business mind. We have the ability to secure boosters and I'm sorry, not secure, reuse boosters. Multi-billion-dollar boosters. Is that cool or what? Now, will that take space travel and make it more accessible? The answer is yes. They are the first company to ever do it. And NASA has never done it. NASA is good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not being negative. I don't like to be negative. NASA has their own mandate, and they're going about what they need to do in their own ways. So, but ultimately, it is pretty amazing what they did. And if you don't get an opportunity, or you don't get an opportunity today, or had gotten an opportunity today, I should say, go check it out on X is a good way. Oh, by the way, I am on X, so if you want to reach out to me there, I am on X, and I am same name as my channel. I think Daniel Calciano 1 is my actual X channel, so keep that in mind if you want to reach out to me there instead of here. I'm gonna move my mic a little bit quickly. There we go. All right, there we go. So hopefully, yeah, DM me or just chat with me as a tag me in it, and we can talk. I love talking. I love. Yesterday I was talking about the. What was it? It was Plato's 3 questions, right? Is it true? Is it good or just? Is it useful or beneficial? I made a shirt, actually. I might bring that back out. But Plato, and I was saying that maybe culturally we should decide that this is the way to go, right? Teach our kids and reteach everybody that the moral foundations for society need a certain level of trust. I bring this example up a lot. If you're driving on the road, do you trust that the other car will stay in its lane, will navigate, and follow the rules of the road? I would say the answer is yes on that, because otherwise nobody would drive, right? Same with society. Society is built based off of trust. Without that trust, we see systems breaking down. We see people ignoring certain aspects of society, right? And this is all expected behavior, to be quite honest with you. If you don't trust somebody, you're not gonna want to live with them. Think about it. If you're in an apartment situation, you don't trust your roommate. Are you really gonna be like, yeah, I want to do this? No. The answer is, I don't think anybody would want somebody they don't trust. It just doesn't make sense, right? And it shouldn't. It shouldn't make sense. So, yeah. Is it true? Is it good or just? Is it useful or beneficial? I think I live by these. I don't think I'm great at it, to be fair. No, I shouldn't say it that way. I should say it. I'm better now than I have been in the past, for sure. Absolutely. Okay. Spear. So I need long final lands, steel spike, and stages. Long final short. Here's one. Nails and steel spikes. Steel spikes and reverse. Get there. So, very cool idea. I think people need to understand the world, society, culture. I believe that the United States is a melting pot. To put a bit broader scope on that, salad bowls, you can take pieces, parts out of it, and you can move things around if you want, but they're distinct individual pieces. In a melting pot, everything's melded together, so all the constituent ingredients become a part of the whole. So the entire culture becomes richer because people come into it will add the best parts of the culture became. I think that's beautiful. I think that's the way to go. I think that's where our strength lies. I think if the world needed to come together, that would have to happen. Right? We couldn't live with separate, being separate. We just can't. E pluribus unum, out of many, one. Pretty wise statement, right? But how do you do that? Well, the culture has to be trusting. It has to have some type of trust. Or, well, no, not or. And the trust has to be based on, or have the trust based on the, 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 the ability for people to trust into the justice system as well as each other. Right? Very important. Very important that we that the justice system is, based in justice. Maybe. Ultimately, I think they got too much time on hands. Let's craft some one-handed spears on that. But yeah, so I talked to that, and then the computer locked up. That was horrible. And I think it's because of I use OBS Studio, so I might try to find a different one. I like OBS; it's free for one, and I'm not making money yet on YouTube. Would I like to? I think it would be kind of cool. Just even the small sums of money, right? You're just like, oh, cool. It's an achievement that achievement and honor, because people listen, and they enjoy you playing the game as they're listening to people talk about nothing at all, or topics they're interested in. I do like to go from topic. I meander for sure. I used to, back in the day. I didn't create a channel, but I created an idea that I wanted to pursue, but I didn't think anything of it at the time. And now, if I had started it back when I thought of the idea, I might have had a decent amount of followers, because it was a concept of wandering through conversation. As everybody knows, a lot of times, unless you're really steadfast to focus in on the conversation, you basically wander through topic after topic, and people have different wants, different needs, different desire to speak on different aspects of the conversation you're having. And I think that's wonderful. I mean, if I were to talk to somebody about something and all we did was talk about that subject, if it was interesting, it would be really cool. But I don't think that I've ever had a conversation which focused in on one aspect or one general conversation, I always believe, or if I'm looking back and being honest about it, that the conversations I've had with people meander through subject matters. And you'll hear that in my voice as well as we go through the conversations. I'm thinking of different things that I have to focus on, such as my speech, my communication, the wording that I'm using, because I want to be clear, because I want people to understand without me using filler words. The filler words that you shouldn't use or try to avoid, like and things like that. Also, filler statements, right? You know. One of the things that I always thought I'd practice to get rid of, and the by the way, you'll catch me saying that here in the podcast because I'm human and we're all trying to continue down our path for better. I do like coding. I'm learning it. I'm not an expert, but I do like to code. It depends on what to code, and I learn a lot from it. Coding logic is interesting. I think everybody should at least go through one course, basic coding. Not that you have to be interested in it. The reason that you would even entertain going into that type of class is the logic that it takes to create a simple program is really eye-opening and it's beneficial. In that, the topics of conversation that you have throughout the day also create that ability to think in a certain way, in an orderly way. Now, I'm a chaotic mess. I'll be the first to admit that. Let's see. Now that we're talking about logic, what are the rules? Let's ask the chat GPT here. AI, I'm an advocate, just FYI. I do listen to people and the cautions thereof, but the AI that we're currently having right now is not the singularity. So I'm not as worried about it. So there is that. There is that. Let's go put some of these away, though. Because these spears are actually going to be useful to me. Because weapons are useful. And they're mid-grade weapons. They're not top-tier weapons, but they're definitely mid-grade weapons. So let's keep some of these here. And then I'll throw the rest in the proverbial trash. I can't wait to build my new house from scratch. Oh, this is my little trash area. I built it on purpose so I didn't drop anything. Not that I care what people get from me, but it's kind of cool that I can do this. Alright, let's see. I'm going to check my skills. Weaponsmithing. 22. I think I was at 21. What am I missing? Oh, I forgot that. Spikes. Spikes. So, alright, so the rules of logic. And I went through a course in high school. It was like a logical thinking course, but it was like mathematical. It was pretty interesting. So, the way ChatGPT says for the rules, right, is they have laws and principles and modes. or laws, right? Laws, it looks like laws and principles is how this one. So you have the law of identity. An object is identical to itself. A statement must be consistent in its reference. For example, if we say the sky is blue, we are affirming a specific identity about the sky. It cannot be simultaneously, or it cannot simultaneously refer to something else under the same circumstances. All right, so that's pretty easy. That's A equals A, right? I'm talking about A, and it applies to A. Makes sense. The law of non-contradiction. This one, a lot of people get wrong, I think, even myself. A statement cannot be both true and false at the same time. A proposition cannot be true and not true at the same time and in the same respect. For example, it is raining and it is not raining. Cannot both be true simultaneously in the same occasion. So it's raining, say hey, it's raining. It can't, you can't say that it's not. I mean, it's not relevant, right? And I think that's a that's a big term today. And I just want to highlight relativism. The law of excluded middle. A statement is either true or false with no middle ground. All right, so what we were saying before, right? Now, if there's a gray area. So the meaning is for any proposition, either it is true or it is negation true. There are no middle or third option. For example, the light is on. It is either true or false. There is no in between. Now, let's think about this, right? So as we're learning logic, it's telling me the law of excluded middle. So if the light is on, or it is off. Well, let's bring up an example. I have a dimmer switch, and it's dim in the room. Is the light on, or is it on? It's still on. So from a logical point of view, you're still arguing that the light is on, or the logical, it's on. It's to what degree is it on? What intensity is it on? And light, I have an interesting, I'm learning about light, so we'll talk about that in another discussion. The principle of sufficient reason. Everything must have a reason or cause. This principle suggests that for any truth or event, there must be an explanation or reason for why it is so, rather than otherwise. So everything must have a reason or cause. Makes sense, pretty straightforward, right? Modus, my Latin's lacking. Modus ponens, the law of detachment is it's better known as. If A applies to B, and A is true, then B is also true. This is actually a logic problem on the SATs. Example, if it is raining, A, then the ground is wet, B. It is raining A, therefore the ground is wet, B. Both are true. You can't have it is raining and the ground is dry. Again, we go back to the law of the excluded middle. Could you cover it and that area of it that's covered is dry? Absolutely. However, it's still raining. Raining does not change. So these have to be used in conjunction with one another, not as an exception to one another. So think about that as well when you're looking at logic. Logic is a very specific use case. And make some long stock. I wish I could jump that. That's fine. I'm stuck. All right, so that's the law of attachment, and then you had modus tollens, Tollens. If rule A applies, or if rule A implies B, and B is false, then A must be false. Makes sense. Example: if it is raining and the ground is wet, if the ground is not wet, therefore it is not raining. Again, you have the law of attachment, and you have modus tollens. And then, let's see, hypothetical syllogism? I can't. All right, and this is for posterity. This will never get erased from the internet. Thank you so much. Hypothetical means if rule A is B and B is C, then A is C. So this allows chaining implications. If one thing leads to a second and the second leads to a third, then the first thing must also lead to the third. If I study A, I will pass the exam B. If I pass the exam B, then I will get a good grade C. Therefore, if I study A, I will get a good grade C. Such a bad example, but sure, why not? But logic is what we're looking at. Disjunctive singulism. Sigillism. If, let's see, they're using symbols now. If A or B is true, one of them must be true. If A is false, then B must be true. Either it is raining A or it is snowing B. If it is not raining A, so it must be snowing B. All right, disjunctive. Okay, that's interesting. I don't remember that one in my logic class. It's been so long. Constructive dilemma. If A is equal to B and C is equal to D, then A or C, or A is true to C, and then B is true to D. If it rains, we'll stay inside. If it's sunny, we'll go for a walk. If either it rains or it is sunny, therefore we'll either stay inside or go for a walk. So A is if it rains, B is it will stay inside. If it's sunny is C, we'll go for a walk is D. So therefore, we'll either stay in or go outside depending on what A or B mean. Wow, there's a lot of logic. All right, so there's three more, so bear with me. Reductio ad absurdum. Proof by contradiction. Assume the opposite of what you want to prove and show that this assumption leads to a contradiction, thus proving the original statement true. By proving the impossibility of the opposite, we confirm the truth of the statement. This is a bad thing. To prove that there is no largest number, assume that there is a largest number. Then, by adding 1 to that number, you create a larger number, leading to a contradiction. Double negation. A statement is equal or is equivalent to saying not. Makes sense. Denying a negation brings you back to the original proposition. It is not true that I am not happy is the same as I am happy. The two negatives make a positive. Interesting. And transitivity. If A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C, meaning this is another form of chaining conditions. If I wake up early, I will have time for breakfast. If I have time for breakfast, I will feel energized. Therefore, if I wake up early, I will feel energized. Interesting. This is This is the formal reasoning in classical logic. They apply to deductive reasoning, where conclusions are logically derived from premises. So interesting, right? And oh my goodness, I think I'm good. I didn't think there would be that many. So stop there. My God, that's a lot of wood. But I believe logic should be taught in every school. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think everybody would benefit from understanding logical thinking. We're not talking spot. Don't go extreme on me. I'm not talking like Vulcan. You must do this. That's not what we're saying. What we are saying is, if I'm talking to somebody and meals. All right. Here. So, let me know in the comments what you think about logic, and it's need, or the need for logic, I should say. I should say it that way. I think everybody would benefit, and I think a lot of people would be calmer if you apply logic to truth, right? And I think that's where truth comes from, right? What's the old saying? You can't do something and tell me it's raining. I'm not going to say the whole phrase, right? So you can lie for sure. All right, let's see. Logic. God, I should make a shirt with the symbols, because it'd be cool to have something as a double negation, to see if anybody recognizes the symbology of the logic. Be fun, and the logic symbolism or double negation. Let me see if I can do it in the chat. Yeah, it did. That'll work. Boom. Pretty cool. Double negation. And very cool. Very interesting stuff. And it goes back to some of the ancient wisdom. I wrote a lot on ancient wisdom on LinkedIn. So if you get a moment to look at the that LinkedIn and the articles, I hope you get something fundamental from them, or some learning from them. It would be cool to know that people who read my articles get a little bit of something out of them, right? I don't propose to be the most intelligent person out there, or the best writer at all. I do have used this logic tree a little bit, not all of it, and I should, because all of it applies. However, what I will do is I will take my article and I will put it through AI, and I'll say, hey, read this article and tell me what you derive from it, right? What is the message being stated? Give me 3 sentences, and it'll get her pitch. And AI is a really useful tool. I do this with emails too, not work emails so much, but with emails, I'll be like, what am I saying to this person? Because I have no idea. Like, I want to say it this way, but what am I actually saying? And you'll find that sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes the AI will interpret it in a different way than you intended it, and you'll be like, "Wow, I've never thought of that." The other one I do use it for, and again, I don't use it for work because I'm hoping that work will give me Copilot, which would be, but that's an internal system, right? A safe, quote unquote, safe system. But sometimes I will, on normal emails, I'll take it and I'll say, hey, I want it to be friendly. I don't want it to be, because I'll write an angry email and I'll plug that email into the AI and say, please make this as friendly as possible, but I need it to, the prompt engineering. We should go over prompt engineering, because prompt engineering on AI is everything that AI is. A lot of people are like, you'll never get, AI is not that smart, you'll get these arguments. And for the most part, some of it's true. Again, logical thinking. Like, what was it? The strawberry. How many R's in strawberry? And I put that in a chat GPT and it goes 3. And it's like, yeah, that's right. But the video on YouTube Shorts or TikTok is like, it said some weird number. No, it didn't. Please tell me the prompt you used. That is the key. What did you ask it to do? What did you ask it to do? And how did you form that sentence? And how did you print that sentence? How did you write that sentence? Did you write strawberry in quotes? Did you tell it the fruit? What did you do? What was the prompt? Because I can tell you from experience, the better the prompt, the more explicit and accurate the answer. I love that. Grok 2 is another one that I use. It is really good. I'm very impressed with it. Absolutely impressed with it. All right, let's see what we got. Skills, weaponsmithing. What about? Let's see what we got. I'm going well over. Like, moderate shouldn't succeed a lot of the time, but oh well. I don't want to spend too much steel either, because to get steel is mathematically about 5% of your total yield of the iron ore that you bring back. That is not pure iron ore. Pure iron ore is like a 1-to-1. But when you bring back iron ore, it's like a 5-to-1, right? About 5%. Gaming is good. Gaming is education. I learned a lot just by playing D&D when I was in quick math, because you have to be quick to derive the numbers based off of addition, subtraction, multiplication, right? Nothing big, but to do it fast, so the table didn't wait on you, and of course peer pressure. Who can do math fastest and most accurate? It's a low pressure situation as well, right? But it took peers. It's a little bit more peer pressure kind of thing. So I like games designed to create, that are fun, that create a little bit of thought. Pax Dei is a great example. I use a lot of my gaming influence in order to interpret some of the rules. And one of the biggest communications that I tried to bring up with developers, whether it be this game, but we were early access, so there's a lot more input into these, or established games. I like to be very specific, and I like to bring out what does not seem consistent to me, especially mathematically. If they give me the formula or how they are processing the math, I will have no issues with what I see, because then I have the formula in front of me and I know the conditions of success and the conditions of failure. Which is to say that in real life, I would love to mathematically be able to explain successes and failures of my life. we go back to the logic set, right? If A equals B, then B equals C, then A equals C. But we all know that if we study, right, to get good grades, it doesn't necessarily yield good grades. So it's logically assume that to assume it. It's logical to assume that if you study, you'll get good grades. That makes sense, right? And I think if you study, and here's that, there's no gray area. If you study the way you're supposed to study, you'll get good grades. There's no gray area. If you study, but you're not really studying, then you're not studying. Again, you can't have two truths at one time. Relativism is okay certain times. I'm gonna think about that. That's one thing I'm gonna take away from our conversation tonight. Relativism. Why is it? It is important, I think. And my initial reaction. This is how I think. My initial reaction is relativism needs to be there for you to flush out the idea or the comment or whatever in X, right? I think mostly and overall, yeah, I gotta do more studying on that. Yeah, relativism. Let me do that. What am I missing? Oh, it just stopped the sounds. Hoping to gain level here. It'd be nice. That's why I chose this, because it costs the least amount. I'm going to derive 40 of these at the end of this. Well, I could have. Probably not. Because it's moderate difficult. Yeah, I think we'll do an hour tonight. Because obviously this game is not exactly primed for longer play. I might do Throne and Liberty. I'm up to like level 23. It's okay. I wouldn't say it's like the best thing since Slice Spread though. I'm hoping that a couple games on the horizon. Was it Light No Fire? He's coming out soon. Pax Dei full version is coming out probably next year. It seems they're doing a lot of different testing here in early access. So it's a pleasure to do it, do the testing. The devs are doing really good. The thing with Throne and Liberty that is starting to become annoying, good word, yeah, I'll go with annoying, is sometimes there's lag or skipping on the server, and I'm wondering if that's on my side or their side. There's a lot of players on that server. Gotta give them credit there. A lot of players. One thing I thought I saw was a translation selection where you can translate people in the chat. I thought I saw that. Wouldn't that be awesome in the game if in the chat you were actually able to translate in real time people from other countries trying to talk to you, so everybody doesn't need to know the language they're talking or the language. And AI is coming a long way for that aim, and I'll tell you why. I have a lot of Chinese-speaking friends over in Taiwan and some in China, but I always ask them, "Hey, would you mind if I put this in simplified Chinese, and let me know if it's reading okay?" You know, like Google Translate, it reads like a translator. It doesn't form the sentences via the rules of the language. It becomes very blocky, and if you translate between English and Chinese or Chinese and English, you can put the subjects together, but you really have to think about what you are reading because of the translation. However, With AI, you don't have to do that. At least that's what I'm being told from my friends. And I tell them, this, here's the subject that I want to talk about, and here's the AI itself, how the AI is translating. And they're like, wow, that's pretty good. And I'm like, good, good, good. I said, they go, you know, there's always a little bit that needs improvement. It's not perfect for sure. But it's interesting how ultimately the translation in AI is actually crafting sentences in the native rules of the or the grammar rules of that language, which I'm very happy about because in time we'll be able to use the AI to translate universally, a universal translator. Very cool stuff, and I think it would be awesome if we can all game around the world. Um, could you imagine the game itself being able to translate for you in chat? One thing I don't like about MMOs is the fact you can't talk to people. That's one thing I don't like. I want to be able to talk to people. I don't. Typing is one thing, but honestly, typing while in action creates inaction. So I'd rather see either. I'd rather see something that's auditory, meaning imagine this in a game, in an MMO in particular. Let's take Pax Dei, for example. I have my mic up to my mouth and I'm listening and I hear people in the distance. Here, okay. So I start getting closer and the volume continues to increase. I'm right next to them and I can say, hey, what's going on? And they're like, oh. So I'm interrupting their conversation into me. Or I say, well met. And my actions are in sync with my words. I don't have to stand there and type out everything out. So I can actually roleplay or talk to them. So I think that would be very cool. I think that would be amazing technology, and I think we're almost there. I think in the next couple of years we're gonna be close for sure. Yeah, I'm very excited. Very excited about that. That should be a lot of fun. All right, let's take a look at the skills. Weaponsmithing. Okay. That's alright. This is what the game is. Lots of farming. Lots of farming. All this is trash. And to get your skills up, I don't mind the trash so much. I do mind the fact that I have to throw things away. Honestly, yeah, stupid. Wow, use the launch is terrible. All right. All right. Well, I'm done with that because it doesn't look like I'm gonna level up. I probably could, honestly, but let's go check out the furnace and see what we can do as far as. So we have that. Plenty of those. Plenty of those. Okay, so I got plenty for coal if I want to do that. Oh, I do have some steel. Okay, so let's get some coal. So yeah, I'm thinking of different ways. I think somebody, a developer on a mod for Skyrim, was it? They did Skyrim, and they put an AI in there, and your NPCs all had personalities, which I thought was amazing. Wow, see how much charcoal with it? Oh, holy mackerel. I cannot find it. I think it might be in the PvP area, so I'm definitely going to go there. It almost looked like something was in there, and it's not. Oh, what am I doing? All my wars over here. Got some there. Ooh, I'm out, huh? Do wrought iron, or I can just hold on to it. I'll just hold on to it. I'll go mining sometime. I think I can do some tin. Copper, pure copper, pure silver, silver, gold, and pure iron, which just gives me iron. I'll go ahead and tin. There we go. By tomorrow, by the time I get up, I'll have the stuff. Alright, let's get some more. Yeah, I think AI will be playing a better, bigger, more robust role in games. I hope. That's not what I do. So hopefully, I think it'll be really cool. Honestly, the Skyrim one, the characters or your NPCs that were named NPCs actually created a backstory for themselves and remembered that backstory. Come on now. They remembered what they told you. They told you the backstory where they have to go up and stuff. And they remembered how they stated it, which that's awesome. I'm loving that. I might as well take this stuff. And I'll think of farming further. Wood is basically I gotta go lumber. A lumberjack. He added to Monty Python's skin. Very good. It's a very good Monty Python skin. I am very happy with that. It's funny. Very funny. They were a little bit they were political. So some of the political stuff I didn't understand because at the time I was young and it had to do with England. So I was not schooled in the political meanings of England. So the way they did it was funny. I have no idea if it should have been funny or not because I did not know English politics. All right. Well, we're coming up on the hour. And thanks for joining me today. We'll talk about other subjects. If you do want to provide a subject for me, please write it in the comments or catch me over on X. And if you want to like the content, hit the like button. If you like it so much you want to subscribe, please hit the subscribe button. And we will see you the next time. Tomorrow night I'll probably do Throne Unlimited. So, with that said, I will call it there, and everyone be safe. We'll talk soon. Good night, everyone. And good day if you're listening in those time zones.